Do you like big things? I like big things. Do you like big monsters? That's my second favorite thing. Welcome to the Monster Zone.
Hello, everyone. He welcomed you. She usually welcomes you.
But I'm sick.
It's okay. Hopefully you all are doing well. I can't remember how I did my intro because it's been well over a month since we've done this, but today we're joined by our awesome co-host, Mr. Parker.
Watch him be over here.
I'm actually below you guys for this show. It's fine.
And of course, my beautiful wife,
Hello.
Angela, who is under the weather as she stated.
Yes.
But she is here, and that's all that matters. And then I am your other person, Dan. Today, we are talking about holy crap, I didn't write the date down for this one. 57?
Oh, I didn't
1957.
The 1957 classic to some people, 20 Million Miles to Earth.
Airship XY-21, which crashed into the Mediterranean Sea on the 11th, was a single-stage, astral-propelled rocket launched 13 months ago from a site within the United States. The rocket, with its complement of 17 men, had landed on the planet Venus.
Venus?
The planet Venus?
Some of you may also have heard the story of a monster now confined here in Rome Zoo. That beast is from Venus.
For those electric cables. Misericordia!
Power's gone.
Take it away, Mr. Parker.
Oh, hi, everybody. So, 20 Million Miles to Earth was released on, according to Wikipedia, just in June. There's no actual date. June of 1957.
Wow. So it's only been, it hasn't even been half a year since it's been out. So
yeah,
it's not too bad.
It was directed by Nathan Juron, who had an illustrious career starting all the way back in the 30s. Back in 1937 was his first film. He would start off doing westerns throughout the 50s up until he started doing sci-fi movies in 1957. He would work on such movies as The Deadly Mantis.
Oh, yes.
Listen, and I just want to state that all the movies I'm about to talk about all came out in the same year. So you have The Deadly Mantis, you have Hellcats of the Navy, which starred one of our former presidents, Ronald Reagan, and his wife, Nancy Reagan, who went by the name Nancy Davis back when they were acting. He would then do this with Ray Harryhausen, who we'll talk about more as we go through the plot of this movie. He then would do The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad.
Yep.
Which was another Harryhausen project, which also came out in 1957. He would do The Brain from Planet Eros, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Literally every single movie I just stated came out in 1957. This man was a busy, busy man in 1957. And he would work up until 1973, and he died at 95 years old.
Damn, what a run.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, I've probably mentioned this before, but like 57 and 58 are like the two biggest years for monster movies. Like these old 50s.
I can definitely tell.
America, like a shit ton came out in those two specific years. There's still a bunch around it, but just those 2 years. I sort of covered or watched more movies from those than any other decade.
Yeah,
or a year of.
I swear most of the movies we've covered on this show have been from like the span of like 1953 to like 1958, which is wild. The screenplay was done by Bob Williams and Christopher Knopf. The story was done by Charlotte Knight and Ray Harryhausen, but he was uncredited. This stars William Hopper, Joan Taylor, and Frank Puglia. We also have John Zariba, Thomas B. Henry, Tito Vuolo, Jan Arvan, Arthur Space, and Bart Bradley. And Ray Harryhausen has an uncredited cameo.
Well, who did he do?
He was a person throwing peanuts to the zoo elephant at the zoo.
Hey, have peanuts, elephant.
Yes.
Very nice. I didn't know that. Nice catch.
I don't have a budget or a box office for this.
No surprise.
A lot of movies back in those days just, I guess, maybe just didn't keep track of that stuff. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the movies we've covered from the 50s, they don't really have those numbers. But it ran at 83 minutes, which is nice and short. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures, and that's pretty much it. Go for it, Dan.
Absolutely. So we're going to begin this wonderful movie, which I actually have. I'm going to ask: have any of you all? She probably has because of me, but have any of you all seen this movie before?
No.
Yeah, I know
that is probably going to be my answer for most of the movies that we cover on this show.
I just like to ask people just out of curiosity because you never know. I might pull one up like, yeah, I've seen this movie before. Right. Whatever. Not super important. But 20 Million Miles to Earth is one I had seen before a few times with my father. I ended up buying the DVD, which is a nice like 50s comic book inspired slipcover, and then I have a Blu-ray, which is very similar to that. Not too awful long, but good. It's a fun movie, and I think definitely worth it your time. But we'll talk about that later. The opening begins like about a trillion of these other movies that I've probably said this before, but they always start with a narration. Always with a fucking narration. Then you get your obligatory title card, which I kind of like the way this one rolls into things. You start with seemingly a bunch of fishermen. It's a fishing village in Sicily, essentially. Mm-hmm. And they're doing what all fishermen do, complaining about not getting fish or complaining about this thing. But they're doing their jobs, right? They're doing what they got to do to stay alive. And there's this kid in the group named Pepe, and he really likes Texas. And it'll get really annoying to you if you're like me very quickly in this movie. But he likes Texas and he likes cowboys. And that's relevant to some extent later on in the show. During their conversations, a rocket, spaceship, a human-made spaceship, not aliens or anything, crashes into the ocean. A couple of the fishermen there actually go toward the ship to try to look for survivors. They go to the ship, they get inside, dig around. It's actually kind of a lot more, I guess, violence you would see outside of like war pictures, because you see like dead people.
Oh yeah,
dead people like in seats and like slouched over things, and they managed to get two crew members out. Essentially, they get two crew members out. And one of the other dudes tries to go back for more, but the ship starts sinking further into the water, and he gets out. Essentially, saves two people, and an unknown number at this time dies.
Well, you say more violent because you don't normally see people in any position other than like laying on the ground or
so relaxed,
or looks like they're sleeping. Like these people were like flopped over, like you could clearly tell they were dead.
I think I recall some blood. That may be me misremembering, but I think I recall some blood, which again was not super common in movies like this. You get a little bit, but not much. Cut to the Pentagon, because why not? It's the Pentagon.
USA.
Yes. Then you get talking. The important character here was like Sergeant McIntosh or General McIntosh, I can remember. So there's a significant character talking about where the ship ends up.
And he's like, crashed. I have apples.
Yep. He's like, one day I'm going to make computers to solve all these problems. Or my kid will. Or my kid's kid will. Or something like that. So, after the accident, a bunch of stuff starts washing up onto the beach. The kid, Pepe, finds this mysterious cylinder on the ground, which seems really dangerous, but he's a kid. He doesn't know any better. So he's like, cylinder! Smashing on rocks.
I want it.
Doesn't smash it on rocks, but you'd think. he does end up opening the cylinder and like dumps out like this blob thing, which reminds me of the giant amoeba from Angry Red Planet,
Oh yeah.
but smaller,
That
like a
movie.
smaller blob. So we're going the opposite direction, but we'll explain that in a minute because it's not Mars. There's
So
rocket
little
stuff.
fact I want to throw in here before you continue is the
please.
reason this movie takes place in Italy is because Ray Harryhausen wanted to vacation in Italy and could never afford it. So this was his way of getting a vacation in Italy.
That's fucking smart.
Work smarter, not harder. You know.
Love it.
Hey, listen, I'm not fussing at the guy, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do, and he
Yeah.
made that shit happen.
Yeah.
And he gave us a pretty decent monster. But anywho, the oh yeah. So after he dumps it out, there's like a blob inside. He's like, "Oh, this is weird and shit." It like keeps the cylinder, whatever. I'm pretty sure he runs off, doesn't he? He doesn't like take the cylinder. He just kind of keeps it at that little cave on the beach,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He just kind of like leaves it there. I think he ends up going to visit a zoologist. He lives on the outskirts of town. He's not native to that specific. I think he's from Rome because this takes place in Italy. We did state that. Well, I said Sicily. But
Yeah. Well, his whole thing was he's going to Rome.
he's going to Rome.
Yeah.
But he's a zoologist. He's got a caravan. He's got a bunch of animals and stuff like that. And the kid's like, "Hey, I found this thing. I'll bring it to you if you give me money or whatever, right?"
Yeah, this
He's
kid is like, I don't care what this is. It's worth something. You're going to give me some money for it.
He's clearly a huckster. And he's like swindled this dude before. And he knows it's probably just something common that the kid doesn't understand. But he's like, "Here you go," and like gives him like this thing, and like runs off.
He's
and,
like, "Money."
With the money.
He's like, "Give me
He
money."
just wants to buy he wants to. Oh, go ahead.
Well, he was just like, "Oh, let me take." He's like, "Da. Money.
Money first.
You can look."
Yep.
He knows
So he
what's
gives
going on.
him lira. Gives him lira. I don't remember how much, but gives it to him. And the kid fucking hauls ass.
He's out of there.
And then like the doctor sees what it is and like pokes it without putting gloves on.
Do we meet his daughter? Do we meet his daughter
Yeah,
in the same
we do.
instance too? Yeah.
Oh God, because his name's Dr. Leonardo, and Marissa is his daughter.
Yeah.
Marissa's his daughter. She's a nurse, but again, Dr. Leonardo's is a zoologist. Anywho, yeah, my notes probably just didn't include her name because it wasn't mentioned at that point. We just kind of see her. He trades the gusher for cash because it's kind of like a smashed gusher, or a gack. If anybody remembers that, Date yourself. Excuse me.
That's what we.
Because he just wants to buy a cowboy hat. He wants to be like all the cowboys in Texas, right?
That's when I said cowboy hat.
Yeah, cowboy hat. What he really needed is a big iron on his hip. That's what he needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he runs off, and the doctor tries to catch him as he's running. Like, "Where'd you find us?" He's like, "I'm the beast, mister." Whatever, beach, and runs off. Whatever. Annoying kid stuff. Doctor obviously doesn't know what it is. He's super intrigued by it. Didn't he actually go to get the nurse too? Was he supposed to go get the nurse for his daughter because of the two survivors from the crash?
Oh yeah. And there's the one, and then the daughter, and the like captain or whatever. They have like this sexual tension, as they do.
I think he goes ahead of them, and another person comes and gets her to help because she's the closest.
Yeah, because she's got to go. She has to go to the hospital and help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And since she goes and takes care of him, the dude that wakes up is Colonel Robert Calder is his name. So we're just going to call him Robert for the rest of this movie because I can't be bothered. So it's Dr. Charmin and Robert. I know it's not, nobody wipes his ass. He didn't invent Charmin toilet paper. It's spelled different.
I'm sorry. It was
maybe
just
that's
the fact
what
that they picked that name.
Maybe it's spelled different.
I know.
If I don't know when Charmin was invented, I don't know if it was before 1957. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was this is where it came from. If it did, that'd be hilarious. Excuse me. So apparently you find out that Colonel Roberts is he's okay for the most part. He's probably the best off. Charmin's pretty rough shape. They explain something about a disease or a virus, a disease that kills people. It killed 8 members of the crew, and it also infected Charmin and ultimately leads to his death. Get like little growths and stuff on their face, but there's not really, they don't really go into it a lot, but it's kind of a cool subplot that I kind of wish was pushed a little bit more in this film.
Yeah.
I like the disease angle. Kind of reminded me of
really cool.
The reverse. Yeah, it reminded me of War of the Worlds, where our bacteria kills them. Anyway, not important. Cut back to the the zoologist trailer, and the baby creature comes out of this essentially placenta gooey gusher thing. I don't think it's strawberry flavored. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't
But
try it.
the creature's name is Ymir. Never said in the movie, but that's what they called it, was Ymir.
Yeah,
And
because
it's-
the original, it was based on a concept by Ray Harryhausen called the giant Ymir.
Mhm. And it's Ymir, I think, I'm pretty sure it comes from Norse mythology. It was the original giant. It was the first of all giants.
Yeah, because
If I
people. So according to Harryhausen, the name is Nordic, but
Mhm.
he was afraid that people were going to confuse it with there was an Arabic title called Ymir.
Which makes
I
sense because even
think so.
then, we weren't as international. I
Yeah,
think most people wouldn't have understand the lingo anyway.
yeah. When they released the movie, they got rid of all the references to it because they didn't want to cause confusion.
I think the new name's cool as fuck. I think it's neat.
I didn't know that until you just mentioned that.
Yeah, it was just I've known it for a long time just because being in the hobby and stuff, and some figures because I do of course I buy kaiju figures. They've made Harryhausen toys in Japan for a long time. That's actually where I ended up finding
I
it.
would love to own like I would love to own this as like a little figure.
X Plus makes some good ones, dude. They do a really good line of Harryhausen shit. It's pretty close to screen accurate.
Yeah,
It's damn close.
they're really cool.
They're really pretty.
It's
but they're
nothing
expensive.
too overly complicated looking. Like it's not super
No.
crazy. Like this is. I feel like a lot of Harryhausen's creatures are just like mashes of just creatures he's either seen. Like you could see like there was influence from like Creature from the Black Lagoon in this.
Yep.
Like the way that he looks, and then of course like his lower body is very like I mean he's very lizard like too, but he's also
like a-
humanoid in a way.
It's like a lizard, like an ape lizard
Yeah.
of sorts. It's like a blend of both of those elements. Because we actually got the scene going right here.
And
really
his-
great stop motions, shocker,
Oh, so
fucking
good.
wonderful,
So
dude.
good. The
Blends
sound
so well.
the sound it makes is just elephant noises, but played at a higher pitch.
And that sound is recycled a lot in other shows.
Yeah.
Johnny Quest used it. The old Johnny Quest from
Yep.
the '60s used that a lot for their monsters. Dude, it's oh god, the movement's great. It's Harryhausen. If you've ever seen Harryhausen, it's fucking wonderful and it blends so well. And I keep thinking there's a colored version of this movie.
There is.
I don't know if the version we watched was colored or black and white.
Mine was black
Watched it
and
on
white,
TV, I'm
which
pretty
is fine.
I owned it, watched the Blu-ray. So
Oh, I thought we would.
If I
I think we watched
I
the Blu-ray. I think we watched the colored version because Tubi's got.
Tubi has both
Tubi has it.
versions. Because
Yeah, we
I
watched the
watched
black
it
and
on
white
Tubi
one.
and I watched the black and white version, but I do remember it saying like in color at one of the versions. I'm like, yeah, I'll stick to black and white.
I think we watched the colored one. I think because I remember even in the colored one they blend because sometimes with black and white you can get more of that matting or whatever blending.
Yeah, it
Blends
doesn't.
better.
You can't make it doesn't look as obvious that it's like
Yeah,
the
Listen.
the blend here.
it looked good in
You
the colored
But
one.
also, this is
Expect me to
1957,
remember?
so
Watching this, I can't remember what happened yesterday, and you expect me to remember what we watched?
That's
I'm
fair.
just kidding.
That's fair.
I just remember the movie.
It's
But when you have somebody that is great at their craft, like he is, it shows in everything that he does. When you have somebody that can do stop motion as seamless as this, and there's some scenes that you can't tell that it's stop motion. We know it is because we know what he does.
mhm.
But it's just like we're watching it in the cage right now, and it's just so fluid and seamless.
dude. Listen,
It's great.
I mean,
I
he
want my
learned
own
from the
baby.
best. So
he
Yeah.
did. And I want to have my own baby Ymir. I just want to feed it hot dogs and donuts.
so adorable. I was like, oh, this
It's
is
so
so
fucking cool. Like you
It's
could
like
like
a
teach it to
lizard
fist
with a-
bump.
It's like a lizard
Yeah.
with a mustache, though. Like it's got like this. The
yeah,
fin
it's
out
got
on
that
the
little
side.
frill.
It's
thing
great.
going
It gets
on there.
it gets better. This whole situation gets better. It would work. Pet Ymirs would work, and you'll learn as we go on with this. Oh, and also when it hatches out of the placenta thing, it looks like when you have Jello in your refrigerator, you make homemade Jello and it sits in the refrigerator too long.
Gets
what
that
it's
like it gets like that hard outer layer.
yeah.
But it almost looks like somebody has dipped out. Like it's not the flat
yeah.
top of it. It's
Yeah.
just people have dipped out of it.
Yeah, of course.
It's
of
great.
course. So after baby Ymir hatches, a lot of dialogues exchanged between Marissa and her father, and then the next morning comes along. They put it in a cage. Next morning comes along, it doubles in size.
Yeah.
So, hey, if it tastes good, that's a quick way to have some food. I'm just saying. Double your, not everybody's going to be eating Ymir probably, but I'm just saying it's an option.
Pull that leg off and.
You just breed them
Frog
and
leg.
food. What now?
Frog leg.
It probably tastes.
It's probably about the size of a frog leg.
Probably tastes like a blend between alligator and pork, because apparently humans taste like pork, so I don't know.
No.
Maybe. Anywho, we're dwelling. General McIntosh arrives at Gira, which is the name of the village in Italy, the village where the ship crashed, or near. You find out that the crew was returning from a trip, a manned trip to Venus. The planet Venus? Like they say like 3 times in this movie, because nobody believes. Like, fucking clean your ears out. Yes. It's not like Venus, time. Massachusetts. They fucking went to Venus. Anyway, I don't know if that's a real place. If it is, let me know.
Hey, there's a Paris in Georgia.
There's a Metropolis, Illinois.
There can be I'm sure there can be a Venus.
Probably. So there, and a meteor damaged the ship on re-entry, hence its crash. The creature they captured the creature, and it's needed if they ever want to go back, because they're going to use information from the creature to figure out how to to prevent this disease that they're getting, so they can freely travel between, because there's tons of resources on Venus, and then they'll invent the USS Ishimura and Planet Crackers, and then we'll go into Dead Space. And
wait a minute, Planet Crackers?
Planet Crackers.
Okay.
In the future, animal crackers won't exist, because we will have killed all the animals, and they can't have human crackers because that would bring too much weird attention to them. So they're gonna have planet crackers. Just letting you know it's gonna happen. It's not white people either.
I was gonna say human crackers is probably not the best.
They would all be white people too. Just telling you. Anyway, patrons, this is what the content you get. It's not the content you deserve.
Is it worth your money? Let us know.
It's not what you deserve, but it's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, pretty much. So
sorry, not sorry.
Dr. Leonardo and Marissa are gonna go back to Rome with the creature. That's the plan. Take it, study it, whatever. Pepe tells them about the monster. Pepe. They find Pepe. General McIntosh and Robert find Pepe. They find out about the container they broke out of, and they find the container, and of course the general pays off this small child. All right, this is from the U.S. government.
Ton of money, yeah,
a lot in lira, whatever. So a good amount. You find out that things happen on the trip back between Leonardo and Marissa taking the Ymir to Rome. It gets too big for the cage, breaks out, runs off screaming naked into the wilderness. Because that's what I would do if I escaped from the cage. Just say it happens, right?
Wears clothes.
I mean, no, it's always
naked. You're naked.
Always. I don't want to do the first part because I think I'm going to be talking about you if the people just listen to this, and I don't want to do that.
Anyway. Listen, I at least wear pants. You know what?
Sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes sometimes it gets hot. You want a ball hanging out to vent. I get it. So Parker gets it. Wink.
Hey, y'all never stand up while we're recording. I'm the one that has to go pee halfway in between. I have to wear pants.
I have an abridged sentence here. It's literally the creature frightens livestock, because the Ymir stumbles across a farm. So the creature frightens livestock, eats sulfur, which makes sense because there's a lot of sulfur on Venus allegedly, and then kills a dog.
Yeah.
Because the dog attacked it. Attacked it.
Yeah. So this whole scene in the barn is one of my favorite scenes. I love this whole sequence and just the way that it's blended together really well. It's this is 1957. This is just so impressive how they could incorporate this farmer fighting off this thing that's not even there, in reality for the actor, but they make it look so real, and it's just bravo.
Takes a shit on most CG, so no offense, CG lovers. The general explains, or Robert explains, that the Ymir is not normally aggressive. They're normally passive. But if you do agitate them, they will rock your shit in the next week. You're going to be shitting out your ears pretty much. They try to capture it inside this barn. It essentially goes into a barn, and they try to capture it inside. The farmer of the property gets literally straight up fisticuffs, dude. This dude 100 hand slaps, busts this fucking farmer up, dude. Like
Just throwing
like,
hands. Like, what the hell is this dude thinking?
Like Tyson beating up like a middle schooler, dude. Just mauls this man. And apparently it's pretty impervious to bullets for the most part. Like it doesn't seem to phase it very much getting shot. And he didn't eat his ear. I just said Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's
He didn't Holyfield him. He just
right?
Yeah.
Whoever it was, I don't know. I'm just gonna agree with you. And then eventually, essentially, the capture goes wrong, and the Ymir escapes again, screaming into the countryside. It was just looking for food. It was looking for food and a place to hide. And the dog started shit, and the military started shit, and the farmer started shit. And it's just an analogy for low-class people being the target of violence.
The standoff between the creature and Calder is hilarious, by the way. Like, this man does he have like a pitchfork?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, he's like, get in the cage. He pretty much is like, get in the cage. Come on. And the creature's like, nah.
I'm surprised he didn't have like a spray bottle of water and a rolled up newspaper.
Pretty much. That's what he was trying to do. Like, he had the worst angle on him. Like, the cage is behind him, and he's like trying to like get around him to push him into that. I'm like, this isn't going to work, buddy. And the creature's like, bye. Just gets out of there.
Please. Then they get the brilliant idea. The Italian government's like, fuck this. A dog died and a dude got beat up. Like,
that is too much violence for this country.
Yeah, we can't.
Do you remember what happened 10 years ago? This country was in shambles.
Yeah, I know. We were a dictatorship. We're past that now. We just need to forget about it. So the Italian government wants to kill it. Think about that. There you go. The Italian government essentially just wants to nuke this thing. The Americans are like, no, we need this.
Just straight up, we just gotta nuke it. He's like, do you realize what a nuke does, sir?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's called why don't you call the Japanese? They just found out.
Oh, damn. Italy, you were next on the list. You just didn't even know it.
Listen, I'm just referencing of this time frame, okay, and this story, you know.
Yeah, Italy was about to be half of a burnt boot, is what it was about to be. No offense to Italians.
It was about to look like a boot that actually stepped in a river of lava. Like, oh shit!
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. What were you gonna say?
Just the scene where the men they're in their tidy whities, and the cord is like going underneath their.
You gotta have support. It's like women with bras, underwire. You gotta have cod support.
It's like they're breathing.
Did I miss that?
So these guys are going out.
It's when they're trying to dive for the container. The U.S. military trying to dive for the container. Yeah.
But like all you can see is them in their tidy whities and their cod pieces are like, hello.
Lift and separate.
We are here.
So if you get hit, you only get hit in one, and it's not as bad. But anyway.
Sorry, I don't want to stare at men's.
No, it's fine. It's part of it. I get it. They eventually have this idea. They learn the secret weakness of the Ymir is electricity, and you find out a lot of things are ironically weak to electricity.
I mean, humans.
Yeah, I mean,
hello.
Most things, yeah.
I just think of the X-Men. What do you think? What happens to a frog when it gets struck by lightning?
It's fine.
Same thing happens to everything else. So, I remember that line from the original X-Men. Anywho. So they essentially use a net, they capture the Ymir, they pump electricity to it, and essentially it puts it almost like a hibernative state. Mm-hmm. Like it just like they adjust enough voltage to just like knock it out. And they ship its ass back to Rome. Next page.
Like 3 lines at I thought it was done.
You find out that it was
it's like the whole 3 lines at the bottom of your
when I start getting down to the bottom, I need something to support my hand on. If I get down there, I don't like writing. I have to
like, is that the end of his note? Like,
no,
you're going by memory at this point?
The U.S. has a press conference because you have to.
Yes.
You got to debrief the world.
Yes.
That's what we do. Press conferences are life.
Exactly. It was 10 days since the crash at this point in the film. It was a 17-person crew, and everybody but 2 people. 1 person died now. 2 came off, 1 died. Ymir is put up inside the Roman zoo.
Wait, did we talk about the fact how it got captured?
Yeah, I already did. We talked about
Did we talk about the net? Oh, okay.
They just threw it yeah, it's fine.
I didn't miss it this time.
Yeah,
no, that's all right.
It was my turn to miss it. Sorry.
Guys, it's okay. If you didn't just rewind like 2 minutes, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. I was like, that line doesn't make sense. Anyway, so it's inside the zoo being held in its like hibernated state. They sent a few journalists in to whatever.
Yep.
Robert's there, Marissa's there. They start flirting. You figure out the monster. This is from you.
Are they gonna go to dinner afterwards?
No, that was only if there's a giant scorpion. You go to dinner. You find out that the monster is actually made of the internet. It's actually a series of tubes.
Yep.
That was you.
Yes.
That was
Oh,
100% her.
yes.
Came
I
from
put
the
in your
Matrix.
monster is made of
That was me.
internet. Yep. Some
Do
bozo.
we have horse betting on horse races?
It's just got horses and poker chips running
Yes,
through the
poker
veins.
chips are the one.
No, Venetian poker chips. So they're like moving something around, and some bozo, clearly it's his first day on the job. They're like trying to move something around to do some procedure on Ymir, and hits the fucking lights. All the power goes out. Ymir wakes up hung the fuck over. Like, I'd be pissed if I woke up somewhere and didn't know where I was. All I know is it's a bunch of people in lab coats and it smells like elephants. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I just don't know.
Oh.
And then Ymir gets out, runs away. Surprisingly, not a whole lot of people die.
Fucking fist
this-
fights an elephant.
Just drunk belligerent. Yes, he does.
He
Dude,
fucking
just goes
uppercuts
on.
this elephant. And this elephant just
He
like,
does-
"Ah!"
An elephant falls on people and murks them.
Oh,
I
this
was
is
like,
this is so
damn!
good though. The stop motion of the elephant and Ymir fight, just fucking going at it. And in the beginning, they did use an actual elephant, and then it turns into a stop motion elephant. It's so fluid and it's just so good.
That's
I
good.
love it, and I just love the mix between the Ymir that uses elephant noises at a higher pitch and an actual elephant with
That uses
elephant noises.
Ymir noises at a
At a
lower,
lower pitch. Yeah, it's wild stuff. It's like you're hearing
Well, you
the
know
same
what?
thing over and over again.
I'm going to say Harryhausen had a thing for elephants. Outside of, I thought the movement for the elephant wasn't as good as Ymir, but it still looked great.
Yeah.
comparatively. So Harryhausen has a thing for elephants because you would see this almost exact same fight 12 years in the future, but it was an Allosaurus fighting an elephant. We will get to that one day because it's got cowboys in it.
Yeehaw.
So it's a good one. I love that fucking
Wait, I
movie.
think I'm-
Valley
I
of
know-
Guanchi.
I know what you're talking
Oh, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
That's good. Yes, it's good. Anyhow,
Can I point out one thing that I hate about this?
has it got anything to do with the elephant?
No.
Okay, carry on.
The fact that, what's his face? The military man.
Well, the American or Italian?
The American.
General or Robert?
Him.
Robert, yeah.
Calls the guy's daughter almost a doctor all the time.
Excuse me, Mrs. Almost a Doctor.
He never calls her. I don't
He's
think
such
he
a
ever
douche.
calls her by her
He's like,
name.
you want to go out for dinner sometime?
And I'm like, fucking hell, nurses do more than doctors do. Damn
They
it.
really, sometimes they really do. Sometimes it's like nurses do everything, doctors show up, tell you two things, and leave. I know they do other things, but I'm just saying.
Like I hate that. Like I've seen that like several times. I have it playing just to remind myself what's going on. Like I hear him saying it, and I can see it in my brain.
I get it.
But just to see the scenes that you're talking about, and he calls her that, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Dick.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Dude, it's the same as, we didn't talk about the actors much, but it's the same as most of these movies. I think these dudes do a pretty passable job. None of them are really horrible, but it's just, except for the kid. Sorry, Pepe.
Hey, he's just doing listen, he's doing what he's got to do, okay?
Shouldn't he be Italian and a skunk? Not Italian, French and a skunk?
Hey, listen, he's canceled. He doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, whatever. They'll get over it. I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers, so everyone remembers. Anyway, Robert, Ymir's like running through the city streets of Rome. And
Yes.
Robert's like, I got an idea. Grand Theft Auto, and he hits him with a car.
Yeah, he's like, get him to the Coliseum.
Yep. And the creature's like, F this, and like hides in the river.
Yeah.
Just like, no idea.
And they're
Just
just like-
gone.
And they're on the bridge like, where'd he go? And he's like,
Yeah,
fucking
after
emerges.
they grenade the river for hours. How many grenades did they bring with them?
They're just like, sir, is this really effective?
On Call of Duty,
Should
you
we
can
just
hold
keep
like 2 or
throwing 'em?
3, 4, right? They're just like,
You just see regular
No.
citizens like, are they just, what are they doing?
They're throwing them and waiting
this how
for them to
Americans fish?
respawn.
yeah, they're waiting for
Yes.
the Oh, they brought a respawn counter for
Yeah.
the grenades. Okay,
Yeah.
makes
And
He's,
that's
he's that dickhead spawn killer, you know?
sense. Mhm. I'm gonna get him.
Spawn
Hey,
camper.
fucking people who played Black Ops, the first one, we know you. Fucking spawn campers with a helicopter kill streak. Anywho, they bring in like Ymir breaks the bridge, grenades, flame troopers come in. Ymir's like, fuck this, I'm going to the Coliseum. This will be where our final battle is. Ymir obviously not really being that bad of a thing. He's just like trying to live
He's
his
just
life.
confused.
This is a very Kong-esque situation.
Yeah, very.
And I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy, dude. The dude just wants sulfur and to be left the fuck alone.
I mean, he eats everything.
In a barn, apparently.
He was like, I'm not even from here, man. Fuck.
I'm not even on the same planet. What time zone is this?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
You're right. Essentially goes to the top of the Coliseum. You have an epic battle, like epic thing where he's like on top of the Coliseum and people can see him down below. And he's like doing like, look at me waving my arms. And they shoot him with like a zook. And we have to get another Kong-esque thing where rocks fall. He falls and ends up dying. And I ended my notes was, 'twas beauty that killed the beast.
Yeah. And the thing about these movies, once the creature dies, it's done. It literally is like creature falls, dies, the end. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like you'll have movies that'll have that happen, and then you have to see like what are they doing after? It's like nope, fucking end.
Nope.
That's it.
Yep.
No.
And I'm thinking about the net thing with electricity. This idea was used 7 years late. No, sorry, 57. Yeah, 7 years later in Mothra versus Godzilla. It was nowhere near as effective on Godzilla. Just pointing that out. But that's it. That's the end of this movie.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes you want to see like the aftermath, like especially if the creature did a lot of damage. You want to see like, are they rebuilding? Are they just gonna like, sorry, this city is, it's done for. Bye. We're just gonna level everything.
How much did Ymir, disrupt global trade and there's suddenly a spike in pasta prices for no reason? It's just inflation. Anyway, sorry, topical. Anywho.
All right, Paul. So I think it's time we, made a trailer.
Do we have to?
Like, people keep asking, so we're gonna deliver.
Well, what are we supposed to do in this damn trailer?
We're just gonna talk about shit we do here. We theme our months, right? Like, what do we?
I mean, I know we've done stuff like musicals and animation months and creature features, all sorts of stuff, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's something kind of like that. That I'm probably gonna sit there and tell people, we're on all social medias. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's all under Flicks and Friends podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. If they're not tired of hearing that by now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that'll work. Should we press record?
Yeah, let's press record right now.
Before we end. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was probably going to say. I'm assuming the same things. I was going to ask what you guys thought of the movie.
I really enjoyed this one. Of the two that we're covering this month, this was my favorite.
I agree.
I love. I mean, it's, to be honest, it's one of those things where even if the plot of the movie isn't catching my attention, just looking at the effects and watching the creature effects from Ray Harryhausen will always keep me engaged. Like I just anytime the humans are on screen, so like I don't think there was any moments in this movie where I was like, oh my god, can we just move on? Because there's a lot of times in these monster movies where there's just human interactions that just make me want to take a nap. Tell me when the monster's on the screen. But I think they had a compelling plot, and then of course adding the creature effects just makes it better.
Agreed. Like, well, we've watched this a few times.
Yeah.
And every time it's still, I mean, I'll reiterate what I said before. When you've got somebody that's great at their craft, it just makes the movie. Like, I could care less about the human part of it. Like, I could watch a movie like this just for the monster and creature, even if it's not a typical monster.
Yeah.
Just watching that craft, it just makes the movie.
Absolutely.
I agree with everything you guys are saying, but the scenes that I just want to get a shirt that says "The Planet Venus" with a question mark. Like, what the fuck's that about? Like, this scene literally just Venus, the planet Venus.
I just want to
the planet Venus.
I just want a shirt that says Venus, Massachusetts. It doesn't exist, but
please,
I'm gonna walk around and people will be like, "You've been there?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But
I'm just play it off like, yeah.
I've said it before. These movies I feel are the same for like horror movies for me. Like, as long as they're interesting, like for horror movies, interesting kills and stuff like that, I like them. Not as much worried about the human cast. I do like this movie. I don't think it's as good as Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, but it's still an enjoyable film. Beast is just...
Beast is definitely the best monster movie we've covered on this show.
I concur. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's on Tubi. And if you want to buy it, you can buy it. So it's still a really good Harryhausen movie.
Yes.
Tubi's, like, it just amazes me how clear some of Tubi's stuff is, even for...
It's probably for the Blu-ray rip.
Probably.
It has to be.
Looks
I mean,
great.
from when you get a movie from the 50s that's this clear,
Oh,
the monster's clear, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
Tubi has a mixed bag, you know, because you get really good rips like this, and then like there was a movie from the 80s that I checked out because a podcast I listened to was covering it. I was like, I'll check it out. It's on Tubi, and it's literally ripped from a VHS, but like a bad quality VHS, like one that's been sitting in the sun for a while.
Deadly Spawn.
what?
We watched the Deadly Spawn, and it was the same way. I was like, God, this quality's bad.
Here I am waiting for it. I thought it was just what we were watching. I was waiting for it to do its little, like, you know, it has the ripple effect where it's very blurry and then it gets better. It didn't. I was like, oh, I'm waiting for it to clear up. And
But yeah, there you go, guys. What do you got? You were going to say something, Parker.
Oh, I just got a few things to say about the movie before we go. So Harryhausen directed any of the Italian sequences, and Nathan Juron only directed the American sequences.
Oh.
The creature would later influence certain movies, other Harryhausen movies, of course, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, the creature in that, and then it also was influenced Kolobos from Clash of the Titans, and also the way the Kraken looks in that movie, the original.
Yep.
And there was a comic series that came out in 2008 called 20 Million Miles More, which takes place 50 years after the events of this movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I have to look into that.
Yeah.
I know this was one of the last movies he did that was set in like present day or futuristic for a while until he ended up doing Guanji around that time.
Yep.
He did his swords and sandals era.
Yep. Originally, this movie was supposed to take place in Chicago. That's the last thing I wanted to state. But as I stated before, Harryhausen wanted to go to Italy, so it takes place in Italy.
As well.
Yeah, I like the setting. I like the fact that it ends in Rome. I like the fact that it's like the final showdown is in the Colosseum, which is this, you know, it was this place where people battled, and to have that final battle be somewhere like that, I thought it was really cool.
Not just insert random American city.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's all I got. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in to another episode of The Monster Zone. This was, of course, our glorious co-host, Mr. Parker, because he's down there apparently. Not there.
don't make me laugh. I got a cough. Try not to.
I'm just giving you a second.
I'm trying not to cough.
My beautiful wife, Angela, and then myself, the Dan. Don't ever call me that. But thank you guys again for tuning in, and we will catch you all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, just say next time.
Next time. That's good. Eventually, we'll be there. We'll see you guys.
Bye.